DoorDash drivers, there are two pay models that are scheduled to end on September 30 this coming week. Find out what they are on this segment of the Gig Geezer. Well, everyone, in case you did not check out the fine print when DoorDash introduced a couple of driver pay model programs earlier this summer, these programs are scheduled, or at least, and again, according to the DoorDash website, these programs are scheduled to end or phase out at the end of September, which would be next week, Friday. Now, these two programs that I'm speaking of is the Accept More, Earn More program, and then the Earn by Time program. And these are supposed to end next week, but everything is subject to change. And DoorDash did leak that disclaimer in the driver portal. Now, the Accept More, Earn More pay model is based on drivers maintaining at least a 50% acceptance rate, and for doing that, drivers will be seeing an increase in orders that pay $2 a mile or more based on actual time. And actual time is the moment that you accept the order to the moment that you mark the order as complete. Now, dash time, just for information's sake and information's sake only in this segment of the Gig Geezer, dash time is based on from the moment that you turn on the app to the moment that you turn off the app. Now, the other program that was introduced this past summer was the Earn by Time model. And the Earn by Time model is based on a guaranteed earning per hour, so long as you do not decline more than one order. So you're allowed to decline one order per hour, and then you earn a guaranteed minimum based on your market, and you are to keep 100% of all tips. Now, the Earn by Time model is what was introduced in my market, the Columbia, South Carolina metropolitan area. And I have put out a couple of Gig Geezer segments on that, and they can be seen right here. And I'll just come out and say that I was not a fan of it. I thought that it was a gimmick. And while I'm going to temper my sentiment about it being a gimmick, I will say this much. You will see I've shown where I did not think that Earn by Time would help me out, but I have found that Earn by Time has helped some people out, at least in my market. And case in point was a young man whom I met recently, as I mentioned in a recent Gig Geezer segment, Mr. Byron Cato. Mr. Cato told me that Earn by Time has worked better for him during non-peak period times. He said that he has been able to make $20 to $22 an hour, which is fine with him. He also noted as a benefit is that he had faster DoorDash driver support response when he called support. Now, he said he did better earn per order, which is the traditional way of doing things, when it was during peak pay periods. In fact, when I met him, peak pay was $2 per order at that time. Now, just for whatever it's worth, at least in my market, to be guaranteed $12.50 an hour is the equivalent of making $25,000 a year, which according to ND.com would put you about the bottom 25% for earnings by delivery driver in the United States. That's just based on $12.50 an hour. Now, how much people are actually making? I'm only going by what Mr. Cato is telling me. And if we want to just jazz it up, let's just say that if it's based on what DoorDash says, drivers are averaging $25 an hour based on actual time. I'll even give you that much. but I guess it's just another way of earning money. Now, I'll also say, as I've said in another recent Gig Geezer segment, I believe that when DoorDash and many of these gig app companies introduce different pay models, it is all it's all tested out in the algorithm, but that it is really its end result is to get orders to customers, hopefully in a more expeditious manner. Really, it's just all about getting orders to the customer. And so the algorithm is going to kind of guess your tendencies with orders. And as a result, if it's something that if it's something that fits your fancy based on artificial intelligence and mechanical learning, it is likely you're going to accept that order, and it's likely based on all the other metrics and data that it's gathered, you will deliver that order in a very prompt and expeditious manner. You're likely to deliver more orders as well. That's just my observation. But moving on. Now, I wanted to at least shift the conversation, at least to me, since I brought this up. And I'm going to give you a couple of, I'm going to share this at least with you, that I never worked a full Gig Geezer hustle working earned by time. I just simply would not do it. I will say on spot, by mistake on a couple of occasions, when I turned on the app happened to be on earned by time. And I was quick to decline a couple of orders to get back on earned per order. But the last time it occurred, it actually brought up the reason for me doing this segment, because it was based on an order that actually turned out to pay. Now, this occurred on September 20 of this week. And what happened was I had already completed a couple of catering orders for another app, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll just try. If I find something that kind of helps me run up the numbers for my first app hustle, fine, because I knew that once I got finished with taking a couple of orders, that'd be it for the day, because Tuesday is a half day for me, as is Thursday. And so here I was heading to a farther point in the northwest sector of Columbia metropolitan area, actually to go to my mailbox. And I decided to turn on the DoorDash app, and mistakenly it was on earned by time. How did I know? Because the first order that I saw on my screen, it was from Panera Bread. If you look at the map, it was going to a place well off into Lexington County, and I'm like, and no way, 9 items, no way for going all the way over there. The other distinguishing thing about when it's earned per time, you do not see the dollar amount. So now another order comes up, and it's a stacked order from the Columbiana Mall area, which was like maybe 3 to 5 minutes away from where I was traveling. And I was very quick to decline that order. Once I declined that order, I saw a prompt that asked, do you want to end your dash, or do you want to go to earn per order? And so I tapped the earn per order tab. Upon doing that, a few minutes later, I happened to get the same Panera Bread order that I'd seen just without the dollar amount. Well, this time it says, again, 9 items, a lot of miles. It's off into Lexington, and the offer amount was $27.75. Now for that, I'm willing to give it a shot. And that's exactly what I did. So I went ahead on, stopped off at the post office, and then made my way over to Panera Bread. And then I headed down over to, well, actually I thought that I was picking up at the Columbiana Mall area, but in fact it was in Lexington. So that meant that I actually had to drive from the point in which I accepted, or from the post office, to the place, the actual Panera in Lexington. That was about a 15 to 20 minute drive. So I picked up the order, and then upon leaving that place, I decided I happen to have other apps. Upon leaving the place, now I also happen to have other apps on, and so I noticed a bicycle order for $10 that I was quick to accept because it was not going that far, and it was actually literally along the way to the DoorDash drop-off location. So I'm gonna pull away for a moment and let you see the actual footage that I recorded on that particular day. And then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna kind of show you some comparisons of the earn by time versus earn per order versus how I go about doing things. And by the way, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely will give comments in the section below, and we'll be back. I thought that I would be working in an area that I'm more familiar with, or what I've been working the last year, which is in Richland County. But just for the hell of it, I decided, I guess since I knew that I wanted to go by and check some mail at my P.O. box that's in the northwest sector of the Columbia metropolitan area, that I would shift zones and work here in Lexington County, which is the area that I worked for parts of 2020 and parts of 2021. Well, I saw 2 orders come across my screen, and actually what happened was I set up the shift starting out at earn per order. I started out the shift with by mistake with the app, the DoorDash app, on earn by time, and I saw 2 orders come across my screen. The first one said Panera Bread, 9 items, a lot of miles. The second one was a stacked order from the mall area. The second one was a stacked order from the mall area that was not going far, so I kind of figured that one was not going to pay much of anything, and it was 5 items. My guess is that it may have been 5 items, $6, because when it's earned by time, you don't see the dollar amount. All you see are the miles and the items. So once I declined that second order, which again was the stacked order, DoorDash gave me the option to go to earn per order, which I gladly did. And the next order that came across my screen was that same Panera Bread order, 9 items, a lot of miles. It was showing over 10 miles, but the offer amount is $27.75, and it's going to an area that's about literally right down the road from where I used to live. It's probably from that residence where I lived about 5 minutes away. But from this pickup location is about 15-20 minutes away. I'm okay with that because, hey, this is going to be the last thing I do for this first half hustle. So I'm about to go inside, pick up the Panera Bread order, and we'll see just how this order pays. I left off by saying we'll see what that order paid. Now, the waiter/bicycle order obviously paid $10. And then as I found out, the DoorDash order was going to a business that I'd actually dropped off orders to actually more than a year ago on multiple occasions. So as it turned out, that was a place that usually, if you get an order from there, they're gonna pay, decent money. And $27.75 is decent money given that it was taking me, it was taking me well into Lexington County, and it was more than 10 miles. But that said, the order paid $28.37. The base pay was $8.25. The tip on that order was $20.12. Now, if I go according to earn by time, now my entire time supposedly on the app was 1 hour and 13 minutes. But I'm going to say, let's just say that it took me an hour. Although actually the amount of time that it took me to actually leave from the post office to picking up the order to dropping it off ultimately was more like about, I want to say like 45 minutes, but let's go with an hour. If I go according to earn by time, I would have earned $12.50 plus $20.12 for $32 and what, 62 cents. Now, if I compare that directly with just what I earned on that order, which was $28.37, earned by time would have paid more. In fact, DoorDash said that some folk, DoorDash said that most people tend to earn more earned by time as opposed to earned per order. Now, since I work multiple apps and I am more than willing to stack orders across multiple apps, that Waiter/Spike Squad order put me in a better position. And so based on the way I go about doing things, I actually made more than the earned by time. Only because in this particular situation, I stacked an order on top of the DoorDash order. Now, in everybody's situation, you have to make a decision that is best for you, and it's also based according to your market. So that all factors in your market and what's best for you. And I guess even for that small example, me doing earn by time would not be the best option for me. Maybe if I was working just one or two apps, maybe it would work. And also maybe if I'm not the type who's willing to work multiple apps in terms of stacking orders across multiple apps or taking other quote chances, maybe earned by time would be a safer and possibly a more profitable way of doing things for me. But remember, y'all, DoorDash is supposed to be ending these paid programs that they introduced this summer next week. We shall see. But meanwhile, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hey, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your hustle and may your grind continue.